Richard Lane was the kind of man who thought the universe bent just a little when he walked into a room, the type who believed a billion-dollar bank account made him bulletproof. So you can imagine the look on his face when the woman pushing a cleaning cart into his 30-floor corner office told him, flat out, "Your blood pressure's through the roof, and you've got neurological symptoms. You need a hospital now." He stared at her like she'd just started reading him poetry in a foreign language. "And you're what? A doctor?" he said, smirking without humor. "Advanced cleaning, right?" You could hear the sarcasm hit the marble walls. Kendra Moore didn't flinch. She'd spent 15 years as a registered nurse before her career went up in smoke in a scandal so crooked it might as well have been scripted. Called out a doctor for racial bias in opioid prescriptions, got painted as unstable, lost her license, her job, her life as she knew it. Now she was scrubbing the floors for a man whose company sold the very drugs she'd been fighting about. But once you've trained your eyes to see something, you can't unsee it, and what she saw in Lane that morning scared her. The tremor, the little pauses like his brain had skipped a beat, the way he blinked hard as if he could force the fog out of his vision. She'd been watching it get worse for weeks. She let it go in that moment, or so he thought, but that night she started writing things down. Dates, times, what happened, how bad it was. She didn't tell him, of course. He'd already made it clear what he thought of the cleaning crew. 3 days later, in a board meeting, she watched him call a director by the wrong name, then do it again, then asked the same question 3 times in 10 minutes. The CFO leaned over and asked quietly if he was okay, and Lane exploded, accused everyone else of not keeping up with him. That's when she saw his left hand shaking again, the tiny hesitation before each word, and she knew. Now, here's where most people would just say, "Not my problem," and keep pushing their mop. But Kendra still had the nurse in her bones. That night she typed a letter, not to him, but to Margaret Lane, his wife, who'd been a nurse herself once. No return address, just a plain envelope. Every symptom documented with the kind of precision you can't fake, and the quiet urgency of someone who knows the clock is ticking. Margaret read it 3 times and felt her stomach drop, because she'd seen it too. The short fuse, the memory slips, the handwriting that had gone from immaculate to shaky. Every time she brought it up, he brushed her off. Now here it was, laid out by someone who clearly knew exactly what she was seeing. Then came the twist Kendra didn't expect. She found an ally. Dr. Evelyn Price, a retired neurologist who did insurance consulting in the same building, spotted her helping an elderly woman who'd tripped in the parking lot. "You were a nurse," Evelyn said, not asked. 1 coffee later, they were trading notes, and Evelyn was saying words like aneurysm and tumor and could be fatal if left alone. She told Kendra to keep documenting everything. Margaret tried again to convince him. Their daughter, a med student, tried too. He waved them both off. Then came the day that sealed it. He walked into an empty conference room and asked where everyone was. She reminded him he'd canceled the meeting himself. He looked at her like she was a stranger and asked her name. 2 years of cleaning his office, and he didn't know her. Kendra called Evelyn that night. "He didn't know me for 2 minutes. This isn't arrogance anymore, it's neurological free fall." Evelyn's answer was simple. "Then we force it." Margaret set the stage, invited the top executives to a succession meeting at their home. Richard came down the stairs slow, tie shaking in his hands, left side weaker than the right. In front of everyone, Evelyn listed his symptoms. He blew up, tried to stand, and his legs just gave. Face twitching, speech breaking apart, one hand jerking as he reached for a glass of water. Evelyn took charge, called 911. While the ambulance was on the way, Margaret's phone rang. "Kendra, I've been documenting his symptoms for weeks. 47 pages. Sent it to the board. They ignored it because it came from a cleaning lady." Margaret's jaw tightened. Every word matched what Evelyn was telling the paramedics. The scans at the hospital told the rest: slow, bleeding aneurysm, days away from a full rupture. Surgery saved him. When he woke up, his first words were, "Where's the cleaning lady?" She walked in, still in uniform. He could barely meet her eyes. "You saved my life," he said. "I've been trying to for weeks," she replied. "But you chose to humiliate me instead." He whispered that he didn't deserve her forgiveness. She told him, "You don't. I didn't do it for you. I did it because saving lives is who I am." The story blew up. Headlines screamed about the cleaner who saved the CEO who ignored her. Leaked emails showed executives mocking her warnings. Stock prices dropped like a rock. Richard stepped down. Kendra refused hush money, refused paid interviews. I don't want your blood money. I want people to understand competence has nothing to do with skin color or job title. 6 months later, she stood on stage getting a national award, her old cleaning uniform framed in a museum with a plaque about the woman who proved humanity beats prejudice. Richard was in the front row, sometimes still in a wheelchair, hands shaking now from emotion. After the ceremony, he caught her in the hall. I was an idiot, he said. You were, she answered. But idiots can learn if they're humble enough. He thanked her again, and she told him the same thing she'd said before. She didn't save him because he earned it. She saved him because some things are bigger than how we're treated. And maybe that's the real punchline here. 2 lives got saved that day, one from a brain aneurysm, the other from the kind of ignorance that can kill you just as fast. But if it were you, if someone had treated you like dirt, ignored you, mocked you, would you have done what she did? Or would you have let them walk right into the fate they'd been begging for? Think about it, then tell me where you stand.